Hi, everybody. Angel here, and I hope you're doing great. And today I'm super excited to speak with Aris Latham, and we will get started very, very soon. Hi there, thanks for joining. Please let us know where you're tuning in from around the world. That's always super interesting to hear. Get started very soon. And if you're not already following Aris Latham, please follow him. The account is Aris_Latham. And I think you'll be very, very happy that you are doing that. And I've been following Aris for a while, and I'm really just learning so much from him. So let's see. Let's see if I can get in here. Oh, thank you. Hi, Aris. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing great. All is well. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. I was just telling everyone that I am just learning so much from you, and I'm just very excited to chat with you today. So thank you so much for taking the time.
You're welcome. Thanks for inviting me.
Awesome. Well, I want to say hi to everybody who's joining either live or on the replay. Please let us know where you're tuning in from around the world. And also, please put your questions and comments down below for Aris, and he'll be happy to answer as we go along. So with that, Aris, we have a lot to cover, and I don't want to, monopolize your calendar here today. So I'm just going to just jump right in and get started with my first question, please. And
Okay.
that is, Aris, you refer to your diet and lifestyle as sun-fired. Can you tell us, please, about your sun-fired journey, how you started, and how you ended up to where you are today?
Well, sunfired is basically a word that I coined by adding an S to the concept of unfired foods.
Oh,
So that was like real old school raw food. Back in
oh,
the 40s, the 50s, they used to call it unfired foods. So,
ah.
I don't need another negative to describe something so positive. So it just came to me. A light went on, and I dropped an S in front of unfired, and we have sunfired. And the connotation with the word sunfired is basically that our food, the natural, original, and best food for human consumptions, comes to us perfectly cooked, well done, ready to eat, cooked in a very exacting, meticulous way. And the sun is our chef, the only chef on the entire planet. I am not a chef. There's no way I can ripen a banana. There is no way that I can produce a lettuce with the exacting science that the sun does. So from the time the cherry tree blossoms till the time you have some ready to eat cherries, big, bold, black, beautiful, and sweet, that's been the cooking period. So the growing period is the cooking process. Anything else that you have to do to your food to make it edible, you're killing it, if it was even alive. But we're talking plant food, of course, not plant-based. Don't get me caught up in that mess. My food is not plant-based. My food is plant food. Because, when you have something that's plant-based, they can layer anything else on it, like splice butterfly genes, so your strawberries can look red and beautiful, okay? Or some of the other vulgar and slutty stuff that they put into your food and still call it plant-based. So we don't go that route at all. I'm coming from a deep school from the 60s where we had to move from plan to plant to planetary.
Wow.
So here we are. It's been a revolution. It's been a revolution for a good 60 years of getting us to where we are, Sunfire. Coming back home to life, coming back home to self, coming back home to nature, and our vessel to get us reconnected with the rest of the universe are the plants. You cannot bypass the plants and try to go through animals, eating dead animal carcasses. You'll be totally disconnected from the earth. You'll be just like what you eat, a freak bird. So we ain't into that. We are more intelligent than that. Don't sell us on that stuff. We're not buying anything that's going to make us sick, that's going to make us suffer, and we cannot live and enjoy a healthy life in our right age. I'm now 75, not sick, 2020. My brain is expanding. It's not shrinking. No Alzheimer's here. No shot nerves. No, compromise. What do you call it now? No compromised sexual, dysfunction. I'm fully functioning, aware, alive, and awake, and ready for another 70 plus years to get this work done that I've started over the past 50 years now. So I'm ready. As my beautiful sister Tiffany Haddish would say, she ready, I'm ready.
I saw that Tiffany was down there with you in Panama, and that was so much fun to watch you all down there together.
Oh yeah, we partied. We had a great time. You know her.
I know. I'm a big fan of hers too. I mean, she's just hilarious, So yeah,
Oh yeah.
thank you so much for that. Well, we have a lot of comments here. Let's see. We have people coming in from, let's see here now. Oh my gosh, we have Austria, North Carolina, London, UK, Philadelphia, New York City, Texas, Detroit, Ontario, another New York, Arizona, Phoenix, Tennessee. Oh my gosh. Hi, everybody. Please put your questions and comments down below for Aris, and he'll be happy to answer as we go along here.
Yeah, I'm just going to turn my ringer off. Go ahead.
Sure. And Aris, you made it clear that you are in Panama, and you have, your institute down there, which we'll talk about. So I just wanted to kind of set the background for everybody that you're down there. Now, Aris, how many years ago did you start this Sunfire journey of yours?
Well, I think it's been a life journey. I was born here in Panama. I was born in the rainforest, in the jungle, in an area that at the time was known as the U.S. Panama Canal Zone. So my grandparents migrated from Jamaica and Barbados at the turn of the 20th century to build the Panama Canal.
Amazing.
Yeah, my grandfather was one of the ones that is called the diggers. We dug the canal with picks and shovel. Yes. So growing up in this setting, in the rainforest, growing up in a U.S. territory, I'm born in 1947. And you know what was going on in the U.S. around that time. And you know what went on in the U.S., during the time that my grandparents came to Panama from Jamaica and Barbados. It was Jim Crow. It was apartheid. It was just getting off the yoke of slavery. and it was about finding a job. So yeah, the U.S. offered them a job, immigration, migrant workers coming from the English-speaking Caribbean, so that the big bosses from Pennsylvania and all these other big steel yards that came to build the canal with the U.S. Corps of Army Engineer, so they can have some workers who could follow instructions because we speak English. So that was all it was about. It was just a workforce, another migrant wave of Africans moving somewhere to build another world monument, that is fuel what we see today as modern Panama. Because I can show you right now. Actually, let me put you in the proper context. Proper
Yeah.
context. I'm going to
Yeah.
unplug my charger here.
Yeah.
I'm going to, flip.
Oh
I'm going to
my.
flip my
Uh-huh.
my camera around. And first, I'm
Uh-huh.
going to show you.
Wow.
I'm in the Sun-Fired Culinary Institute.
Awesome.
This is how we do it here.
That's beautiful.
And
Oh
we
my
got the
God.
stoveless kitchen going on.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
we got
Hi,
my
Ria.
assistant
Hi
Alba is in
there.
the house.
Hola, Alba. ¿Cómo estás?
Okay, so she's peeling mangoes. It's mango season. We got mangoes like
Oh.
now. So she's peeling
Oh.
mangoes, and we getting ready
Oof.
to freeze mango and be able to do mango ice cream and you name it. So
Gosh.
and look at those pineapples.
Beautiful.
Pick this morning.
Majestic.
Pick this morning.
Majestic.
Ripen in the
What?
field.
Fresh. They're fresh.
Yeah, these are the sugar loaf. These are the Jamaican sugar loaf pineapples. They're
Oh my
pure sugar.
gosh. Mm.
But anyway, what I wanted to show you
Ooh, look at
is
that
what's out here.
view. Oh my
This is
heavens.
what's out here. As a
Oof.
matter of fact, we're gonna take it upstairs.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
I'm gonna take you out and give you the real close up.
Oh my
Give
gosh.
you the real close up there.
Oh my God. You have beautiful art. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, thank you, thank you.
Wow. Oh my gosh. The patio, the terrace.
Okay, so what you're looking at is the gateway to the Panama Canal.
Oh my heavens.
So you see the
Wow.
ships lined up to go in.
Yes. Ooh.
Okay, and you see
Uh-huh.
the skyscrapers in the background. That's
Yeah.
Panama City.
Wow.
So the entrance to the canal is right over there.
Oh my.
I am on the island of Toboga.
Okay.
So we're 30 minutes from there's my mango tree. Fully loaded.
Huge. Huge.
Fully loaded.
Oh
So I'm on
my.
the island of Toboga, 30 minutes from Panama City by ferry.
Wow.
And this is it. We got the big green backdrop. The island is
Mm.
only 5 square miles,
Okay.
and only 1% of it is populated.
Oh
So
wow.
1,500 of us live here. And
Beautiful.
there's our beach. Now the tide, we're
Amazing.
on the Pacific coast.
Okay.
So the tide on the Pacific coast goes up and down every day, following the
Ah,
moon vibe. So
okay.
you see that small island
Mm-hmm.
off the coast.
Mm-hmm.
Between that island and the one I'm on now, there's a sandbar. So a little
Mm-hmm.
earlier, there was no water there. It was
Oh
just a
wow.
sandy beach. So
Oh
now that
my
the tide is
gosh.
rising for the day, the beach gets covered, the sand gets covered, and on this
Amazing.
side there's another beach over here. So anyway, my
Amazing.
grandparents facilitated this marine traffic that you see right here by building the Panama Canal. And
Wow.
these ships, I think the what do you call it? The toll rate to go through the canal is probably $250,000 per ship.
Unreal.
So Panama
Unreal.
is full of it, full of wealth. So
Amazing.
I'm here cashing in on my inheritance.
Yes.
So
Yes.
anyway, being born here in this setting here, basically it was about, you know, growing up with grandma and, you know, living in an environment where, our backyard was the bush.
Amazing.
You know, that's
Yeah.
it. So I'm gonna flip my camera back around here.
Yep, I see you.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, we have a comment here with lots of hearts. One of my favorite doctors from one of our guests here. Um, yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, we have lots of love, love, love coming in here. Amazing. That's impressive. Oh damn. Fully functioning. They're talking about what you were saying earlier. Oh, we have another oh damn. Let's see. We have lots of applause. Oh, and then we have another one saying that you're ready. So he's ready. Uh, let's see. Oh my God. We have someone from Monaco. Someone
Oh
from
yeah! Wow.
someone from
Who is that? Is
Texas.
that Jonathan?
Okay. The ID is Annette. Oof, E Neti Creole. Oh, Eneti Creole. Eneti Creole.
Okay. Well, welcome, Monaco. I have a student coming from Monaco. I was curious whether that was him. So he's setting up a juice
Beautiful.
operation there in Monaco, and he's
Oh,
coming home so he can get sun fired. Take the
I
real
agree.
stuff over there.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. We have DC, we have New Hampshire, we have Phoenix, Atlanta. Oh my gosh, New York, DMV. Oh, we have a question here. Can you eat avocados with oils? What do you think about that, Dr. Aris?
That's, I mean, avocado is oil. Avocado is fat. They make avocado oil. So there's no need to add oil to avocado. I mean, that's like, you know, that's overkill. If you're trying to get a heart attack, that's a quick spot to
Yeah,
get you there.
yeah,
No, there's no need to add fat to a fatty food at all.
I agree. We have India. We have a question here. How do you maintain the lifestyle?
Well, it's not a style. That's why it's a life. This is how I live. This is how I live. But you know what I've found over the years, I've studied probably all the greatest proponents of sun-fired food, raw food, living food for probably over past 100 years. Everyone that has lived and have written about it, I've studied their works. And one of the things that I've realized is that the most successful people at this over the years are people who practice it, not just on a personal level, but they live it. This is what their livelihood evolves around and everything.
Mhm.
So I bumped into the business. You know, I wasn't even interested in this. You know, I just got into the see. Again, you know, I'm a child of the '60s. You know, we're talking about that convergent revolutionary era. You know, the Black Power movement, the hippie movement, the anti-Vietnam War movement, the African liberation movement. You know, we're talking a lot of stuff was going on. And being
Mhm.
a young college, you know, kid at the time, I was hungry for knowledge. I was hungry for growth. And what I saw in my neighborhood in Bed-Stuy, when I left Panama, that's where I landed in Brooklyn, in Bed-Stuy. What I saw, you know, what was used as food, especially when I went to high school in Brooklyn, coming from Panama, and I'm eating in the cafeteria. I'm like, wait a minute, something ain't right here, you know, because I'm coming out of the jungle eating all this fresh food, you know, all these mangoes and pineapples and everything, and I get introduced to sloppy Joe, you know, hamburgers, hot dogs, a whole bunch of stuff. And then in the hood, there I am getting, you know, bucking up on, you know, shit links, you know, and all kind of other stuff, you know, ham hocks and, you know, basically I got ill, you know, dealing
Ooh.
with the standard American diet, the sad diet, including our soul food, you know, because we know how that came about. You know, so after a couple of years on that, you know, and then being on the college campus, and here comes the hippies about back to the land, you know, back to the land, organic, and then, you know, being exposed to the teachings in the neighborhood at the time, you know, the Nation of Islam, Elijah Muhammad, How to Eat to Live, and that kind of stuff. And then, you know, the whole Black Power movement, certain revolutionary thinking, where we actually created our own co-ops in the inner city, you know, having organic food in Bed-Stuy, you know, in Brooklyn, having co-ops where people can become vegetarians, get good, clean food, and vegetarian restaurants popping up. And this is where I got my schooling. This is where I got my education. You know, reading a book, you know, the book that made the biggest impact on me is a book by Hakeem Adabuti, known also as Don L. Lee, from Chicago. You know, he had a whole publishing house. But the book was From Plan to Planet, was the title of that book. From Plan to Planet. And it was like, oh, black folks, if y'all gonna get, you know, to do anything serious now in this dispensation, you got to get off the planning stuff and you got to get onto this planetary vibration. And one of the ways that you're gonna get there is definitely cleaning up what you put into your body. So no white foods. They're all mutants. No white sugar, white flour, white salt, white flour, all of that. Milk. Get rid of those things. They're all mutants, just like, you know, the folks who created them. You know, so that was like, you know, the big hit for me, because again, you know, I am, you know, trying to be a revolutionary, trying to defend myself, trying not to go to the war to help fight some folks over their rice, help some other ones to control people's rice basket. So I wasn't into that. So for me, starting to eat this way was basically an act of self-defense, to defend my black head. Not to defend the bald eagle, but my bald head, my afro. You know, not to defend the zebra, not to defend all these endangered species of animals, before acknowledging that I, as an African descendant living in this environment, I'm an endangered species too. And I'm not going to go beg for help. I'm going to take it into my own hands. And what comes through my hands that affect my entire life is that fork and that plate, that whatever I put into my mouth. So there we went. There we go. It wasn't about, again, trying to save the animals, trying to save the environment, trying to be spiritual and meditate. No, it's trying to be proactive about being who I am and eating slave food, dog food, you know, for that matter, getting the worst and, you know, ending up sick. I've seen it in my family. My mother, my grandmother, my grandfather, my father, my uncles and aunts, you know, my cousins, my brothers, my sisters. I'm like, no, I'm a little more intelligent than that. I'm not going to eat stuff that's going to make me sick.
Yeah.
So that was it, 53 years ago. 53 years ago, I stopped eating animals and their byproducts, not even honey. It's sweet, but it's still vomit. You know, no eggs. You know, we know it's an abortion. Why should I eat an aborted chick? You know, so all of these things, you know, being that radical revolutionary, and my revolution was food.
Yeah.
And today the revolution still continues.
I agree.
It's just
I
today
agree.
it's televised. Gil Scott Heron said it won't be. It's not being televised. Back now it's televised. Like we're televising it right now. What we're doing right now, so it's a revolutionary act for you to stand up and defend yourself, take ownership of your body, your plate, your life, and what you put into your body, knowing that it's going to walk and talk tomorrow. And you want to walk and talk, you know, upright. You don't want to be, you know, crawling with pains and, you know, arthritis and, you know, kidney stone, diabetes, glaucoma, and you name it, the whole laundry list of all these so-called modern diseases. It is nothing of more than a reflection of the waste bin that you're living in. Our body has become a trash bin. The same way that chicken and that fish and that goat rots and break down in the trash bin, it basically putrefies in your body the same way with maggots and worms and everything. Yeah, so call it cancer because your body tried to defend itself and develop some cancer cells to eat up all that filth. Yeah, and the filth becomes filthier and stronger because you keep feeding it. Then eventually it eats you. Yeah, you metastasize, not the cancer. So we need to wake up. We need to get up, stand up, and defend our life. It's a human right to not be sick. You don't have to be sick. So come on, where did you get your education from? That was not part of the plan.
And so
Cash
do
that
you think,
education back in, get a refund.
so do you think, Dr. Aris, that it is because, we have just like been bamboozled with with all of the like advertising and marketing and commercials? I mean, what do you think it is?
Well, that's part of it, but we the main effect. We did it. We went out and bought it. We bought what they sold us in the commercial. Past the Courvoisier, yeah, past the next heart attack. Because every time you drink some liquor, it needs something to cook. And if you don't give it some flesh to cook, it's going to cook your liver. Cirrhosis of the liver. What do you think that came from? What do you think arthritis came from? What do you think cancer came from? What do you think diabetes came from? This is all off your plate. But yeah, there's some bright lights, some bright notes. Thanks to the little effort that Michelle Obama put forward, and she changed the American nutritional, guideline from the pyramid to the My Plate. And you saw what she did, My Plate, and she had organic garden. She had the nerve, had organic garden in the White House and all of that stuff. Check that out. And you saw what she did. She said, My Plate should be 50% fruits and vegetables. That's a big far cry from the 5 a day fruits, and vegetables in the pyramid. And it went under the radar, went under our nose. A lot of us don't even realize what a
Right.
tremendous service she did for us. But of course, being who she is, she got no real big, headline news about it. Some of people don't even know that there's the whole My Plate. Some people still probably looking at the pyramid. And
That's a very
50%
good
protein.
point.
She said 50% protein and grains. She didn't even say starch. And she didn't specify that the protein should be animal protein. So I'm like, wait a minute, this looks like she may have peeped my chart. She may have peeped my chart because she like almost, it's like the grassroots, like pushed her up to get out there and say the word. So she got some authority and Oprah and other folks who listen to her, but they ain't trying to listen to me even up to today. But I've been saying this for over 50 years. I've been living it for over 50 years. And I'm absolutely the living proof that this works. This works. As I mentioned to you, I'm 75 and ain't not one bone in my body aches at all.
Awesome. That's awesome. So we have a question here, and I think you've already kind of answered it, but I do want to respect that the person asked the question. So the question is, what are the fundamental pillars for health? This person says suffering from exhaustion and blood shows nothing abnormal.
Look, exhaustion, blood chills, all of this stuff, you are what you eat. If you're exerting your digestive system to try to process foodless foods, things that are not food, because it's edible, it doesn't make it food. Because you can boil a potato and pump water into it, it's still not food. It's still not food. Because you could take some rice grains and boil it to death and pump water into it. That doesn't make it food. Because you can grab a pork, a pig, and jerk it and barbecue it and roast it, and it's still not food for human consumption. It's going to wear you out. So challenging our digestive system, trying to get it to process things that it was not designed to process, yeah, you're going to be exhausted. You're going to be tired. You're going to be sick and tired of being sick. So eventually you got to come back home. You got to come back home to life. How are you going to eat dead food and get life from it? Now tell me, how are you going to grab an animal and kill it, roast it, and make sure it's deader than dead, and you're going to eat this to derive life from something like that? How are you going to boil some beans and kill the beans to the point that if you plant them, they won't even grow? And you think that's going to get you life? That's going to enhance your life? It's going to give you a better quality of life? Where did you get your education? Who sold you that?
That's a good one. So we also have a question here. How long would you say it takes the body to adjust to raw foods?
Well, it's a big step. But it's all relative, though, to the individual. Number one, if the mind is ready, this animal, this dumb flesh that we live in, this brute is going to follow. If it doesn't have a choice, you put it on the leash and you make him adjust, make her adjust. You know, so it's between I, as a spirit being, and this little mind inside of me that's going to make sure, I'm going to make sure this brain, this mind, deal with that animal, this body, this flesh. And when the little bees say, I want some whack chicken, you know, don't take them to the whack shop. Don't take them. Say, no, you're not, I'm not taking you there. But when the mind says, oh yeah, I know where you can get it, and you can get a double order. You can get a snacker. You can get a Whopper, as a matter of fact. I'll make sure boss pays for it, because he's going to pay for it. The spirit's going to pay for it. Because when you feed that little beast, that little animal that you're living in, all that bad food, is going to be sneezing, coughing, crying, farting, all of that. And here you, as a spirit being, you trying to meditate, and the little beast won't even let you relax because it's sick, it's upset, got a headache. Nah. So we need to step up as spirit being, take charge, take ownership. And yes, how long it's going to take for you to adjust, it's all relative. Number one, for every 2 years that you've been eating animal flesh, animal excrement, because that's all the milk is pus. Animal excrement is going to take you at least 1 year for the last trace of all of those elements from that dead animal to leave your body. So if you've been consuming that stuff for 40, 50, 60 years, you need to spend another half of your lifetime, or the life that you have already lived, to get it out, if you only just stop eating it. But of course, there are things that you could do to accelerate the process of elimination, because ultimately, that's what it comes down to. It's elimination. So basically, it's about stop postponing the elimination confrontation. Get on the throne, get on the toilet, and let it go. Release. Release. Stop being constipated. Stop being blocked up. Stop being stubborn. Yeah, you're going to get diarrhea if you start eating a lot of fruit. So what the heck? You need diarrhea. How you expect it to come out? Open up the floodgates. But no, we're like, oh no, I eat this stuff and it makes me sick. Yeah, it's going to make you sick. Part of the healing process is a healing crisis. Give thanks that you going to survive the healing crisis, unless you be like really way gone, that you end up with a heart attack or an aneurysm and you die on the spot. So this is no joke. This is not a cartoon. This is not entertainment that we're talking about. This is entertainment.
I agree.
You have to clean up, clean out, and get on with your life.
I agree.
So, yeah, I've seen individuals, one of my A students, Stanley Banks, I think he's George Benson's bass player. Stanley Banks studied with me in '99, and he said, man, if what you're telling me I'm going to achieve once I study with you, Then you mean I won't be able to eat pork anymore? I said, yeah, Stanley. So the night before he came to class, he came that morning, he said, look, I pigged out last night. I had everything piggish that I could find in Brooklyn. Because if this stuff worked, I'm not going to eat no more pork anymore. I won't be able to eat that thing. 1999, today, 2022, the man has not touched the flesh. And he's been, I would say, a good 95% raw, sun-fired for all these years. And if you know him, and you knew him before then, you probably would exclaim like George Benson did when he saw Stanley. He said, oh, Stanley, look at you. You're half the man you used to be. Yeah, lost 90 pounds in 1 year. Waste management. Dropping that waste.
I love when
Dropping
you
it
say
like
that.
brickworks.
I love when you say waste management. Because it's so true.
But it's the thing, it's to manage the waste so it can come out without coming back upstream and attacking you. That migraine headache, you're not managing your waste well enough. It's like it's like literally. I mean, I hate to use expletives in such a public, but for some of us, this is what it takes. It's like literally the shit hits the fan.
Yes.
When it comes back up and smack you in the brain, you got a stroke. The artery burst, and you got aneurysm. You die, or you paralyzed for the rest of your life. It's that garbage coming back upstream, and you have no more place to stuff it, to hide it, to stash it. But give thanks, we do have some great people on the scene today. And I always like to mention my wonderful brother in Houston, Texas, the Houston Cardiac Center, Dr. Baxter Montgomery, a former heart surgeon. And you go to the Houston Cardiac Center, my brother puts you in the raw food boot camp. He's not going to pull the blade and try to give you a double, triple bypass surgery. Mm-hmm. He's going to send you the slow route. And for you to get to his treatment, you got to get in the raw food boot camp and stop eating all of that food that caused the heart attack in the first place. So there are many physicians today who got it as a fundamental practice to get you to stop putting in the cause, any more of the cause. Because if he chop you up and give you a bypass and patch that stuff back together, you're going to get blocked up again, and it's worse the next time around. So a lot of these remedies, a lot of these surgeries, a lot of these pills and all this stuff, it's just a crutch. It's temporary relief and give you space, room to put more of the problem in. So for the great part, it's really, they're doing you no good because they're helping you to avoid the elimination confrontation. You got to eliminate. You got to get rid of it. It's toxemia. Toxemia is poison. It's garbage. It's waste. It's filth. And then the body can get to do its job. The body is totally self-healing. The body will repair all damage. It will build you new cells. Even brain cells are possible to regenerate. It'll build you new nerves, but you got to stop challenging it with the next plate of garbage. Because literally, that's what we're eating. We're eating garbage, junk food. What do you think it's called junk food for? You're a junkie. It's dope.
Very
So I
addictive.
can't be any
Very
more
addictive.
emphatic
Yeah, it's
than
very
showing you how
addictive.
serious this is about by sharing you this information on this level with this degree of force. Because I can't sugarcoat this stuff for you anymore. And there ain't no need for you to go to the little street corner herbalist to get you something to pull the plug so tomorrow you can have room to put the rest in. Or for you to go to the little fitness joint and roll around and burn off a couple of calories so you could put 4 more in.
It's true. It's true. It's like, fast. It's like everyone wants like a fast food solution, you know, a quick fix.
Hmm.
But that's, like you said, that's just temporary, you know. So I think this leads us over into your seasonal juice feasting. So
Hmm.
can you explain to us, please, why you do this, you know, juice feasting periodically throughout the year? I've been very inspired, you know, by you, you know, how you kind of break it down into different, I don't know, like I would call it cycles, but I'll let you explain whatever you want to share about your juice feasting, please.
Yeah, well, basically, it's uh, it's another level of fasting.
Yeah.
And if you know anything about the word to fast, it means to hold fast, which technically or classically, nothing should get past your lips at all. So back in the ancient time, when they say so and so fasted for 40 days and 40 nights. So when someone fasts for 40 days and 40 nights, that means they ate nothing. They lived as a breatharian for 40 days and 40 nights. Nothing went past their lips. Because if you look at the reality of it, we fast every night. Every night that you go to sleep for those 8 hours, you are going on a fast. So that's why, in that beautiful English language, when you wake up the next morning, you're actually supposed to be engaged in breaking of your fast.
Yeah.
And to break a fast is not what the gangsters, the bankers have done with our food basket. They call it a breakfast. It's not breaking of the fast no more. It's a breakfast. And they turn it into a meal.
Mm-hmm.
And this meal is packed with cereals, starch. That's the last thing you need in your body in the morning, another bucket of some Captain's cornflakes. When you wake up in the morning from during the night for 8 hours, when you go to sleep at night, you're going into the body shop. You're going in to get a repair, to get tuned up, to get checked up, to get diagnosed and check up on what's going on in this body, what damage happened earlier today, and what do I need to fix while you sleep. Because the body can only be fixed when it's not digesting. The body cannot be repaired when it's busy digesting. And you see how much time we spend digesting, eating 3 square meals a day. Every single one of those meals is full with starches and protein, meat and potato, or beans and rice. Some kind of starch and protein combination. And that takes 4 hours to digest. So if you're eating 3 square ones of those a day, you're spending 12 hours of your day digesting. And it's not a secret. The human
Amazing.
body cannot digest and eliminate simultaneously. So, of course, you got to be obese. Of course, you got to be sick because you're now backed up with filth, with waste, accumulating over the years 40, 50, 60 years of backed up, unprocessed, uneliminated filth. Your waste bin. That's why your breath smells. That's why when you come out of the toilet, you want to drop some incense in the bowl.
Oh, and air freshener.
Air freshener. Because you can't even stand it yourself. You try to get away from it. You spray something on your mouth to kill the bad breath. You rub something under your arms to clog up your pores so you don't smell the gook coming out. Come on now. Stop swallowing the sugar coating from your little passive healers who will sell you the latest and greatest next thing best for you to be healed with. And 20 years later, you're worse off than you started, from where you started. Especially that doctor that been monitoring you for all these years. And 20 years later, after he told you to stop eating fruits, your diabetes has gotten worse. And now they put you on insulin. After 20 years of watching your kidneys deteriorate, he sends you next door to buy a dialysis from his little market spot, pharmacy, or whatever, wherever they sell those things.
Yeah.
And glorifying these diseases. Diabetes month, breast cancer awareness month. Now they put breast cancer and prostate cancer together, the pink and the blue ribbon together now. Come on now. Business. They don't care how you think, act, look, or feel when they sell you on all of these disease-forming formulas. I love doctors. I respect them. They're great engineers. They're great, mechanics. But one thing for sure, in all their 30 whatever plus years of education, they were taught nothing about food. I feel it for them.
Yeah.
They've been sold a malpractice education. Because most of the diseases that your clients, your customers are coming in with today, call them patients, yeah, because they're patient with you. They're coming in with food-borne diseases, stuff that were caused by food. And I feel it for you. You can't help them. Oh, there's no known cause for your disease. Of course, you don't know food. You never studied it. Or some of them are hip, like Dr. Montgomery, Dr. Gabriel Cousin, Dr. Kamal Kukai. I can call a list, a whole bunch of them out here that have stood up. Some of them lost their license. Yeah, Dr. Mills, very wonderful nutritionist. Study his works. Dr. Mercola. There are quite a few of them out here. They've been on the front line. And many have come before and been castrated.
Yeah.
But it's a new day. It's a new day. Now they stop pulling wools over our face. They pull masks over our breathing spots. And have us breathing in. But anyway, that's a whole nother subject. That'll take us 20 hours. I don't want to go that route. That's a distraction. So we need to step up, defend our life. So all of this, again, it's relative as to how long it's going to take you to correct, the damage that you have been, associated with inflicting on yourself. Don't blame it on KFC. Don't blame it on the doctors. You did it. Volunteered, sickness. I mean, today, a lot of it is happening even involuntary. We're forced.
Yeah. We're
forced to subject ourselves to these wicked experiments. But say no more. Say no more. I'm not against none of these systems.
Right.
And I know, based on how I live, that I'm not going to get sick. And based on my medical reports that I get every 2 years, I'm not sick. I got nothing going on that I need to be panicking about. At my age, I'm not in the vulnerable population group.
Yeah.
So let's step it up.
Beautiful.
Take ownership and protect your life. Defend yourself.
I love how passionate you are, and you just go for it. We had a quick question here. Can dates be used instead of honey? Yes, dates can be used instead of honey. We have people from all over the world chiming in here, Aris. And I want to ask you if you could share with us, please, what is the benefit of juicing in general? Because I know you juice quite a lot, and you're sipping on some juice there now. So what have you found to be the benefits of juicing?
Well, I'm not challenging my digestive system. Digestion is the biggest job you could ever ask your body to perform. More demanding than construction work. Digesting processing food, breaking it down, assimilating the value of that food, and turning it into producing energy. Because food don't give you energy. It's a catalyst for generating energy. The body generates the energy. But if you wear your system out on processing certain foods that ultimately are going to give you empty calorie, it means as a business proposition, you got a bad deal. If the energy that you can produce out of a burnt up piece of chicken, if the energy that you can generate from consuming that and processing it in your body, your refinery, to make fuel for energy, and if that burnt up, charred piece of flesh burns more energy than what it is capable of you generating by consuming it, then you've been had. You have been had. You got a net negative value as an investment. Looking at your life as a business, you got a bad deal. You invested in something that gave you no return on your dollar. Actually, it deflated your dollar. Because now you got to go find a doctor, find a medical service, a medical institution, a medical something to get it out. Burn it out, nuke it out, radiate it out, cut it out, carve it out. And being sick is no cheap deal. It's expensive. And they're not going to get you well. They say it. They say they're not going to get you well. You're going to pay out of your pocket. And then some of them even tell you like, oh, we don't know what's really going on, but we can subject you to this test, and you can take this, and you can take that. After you spent a week, 2 weeks in the damn hospital and paid a whole bunch of money. And then, oh, well, you got a couple of weeks to live. Take him home and let him enjoy the rest of his journey on this planet. Come on now. We are more intelligent than that. And we have seen this drama played out too many times already. So people are up in arms. People are holding arms today and are not going to take it anymore. So yeah, people like me, we busy. We busy. And people are really demanding good food.
Yeah.
They
So
don't
Dr.
want to buy
Aris,
them. Go ahead.
yeah. So sorry, this takes us. Go ahead, finish your sentence.
I'm finished. I'm good because one sentence takes me to another. So let's leave it there.
Okay, we have just so many topics and so many questions, but I know I need to be aware of time. But tell us, please, about the Sun-Fired Culinary Institute. It's physically in Panama. You just gave us a beautiful tour.
Yeah.
What should everybody know about the Sun-Fired Culinary Institute? What do you offer? What do you do?
Well, we're all about our relationship with food. It's really getting our relationship with food regulated, and that helps us to regulate our relationship with the rest of the universe. Because we're heavenly bodies out here, and what we eat today walks and talks tomorrow. So certain attitude, certain mindsets, all of these things, of course, not to mention the disease and the misery, the insecurity, the fear, a lot of these things are coming through our plate. The gateway is our mouth. So we assist in getting humans to normalize their relationship with consumption, with their fuel consumption, what they put into the body to generate fuel, and make sure you get a good deal for what you're investing. And we're not here trying to be frugal and wasteful, but it pains me to see a lot of our people trying to live in a inexpensive body. They don't want to buy a dragon fruit for $5 because they can buy 5 pounds of flour for that money, and they can get a big belly full. But the Sun-Fired Culinary Institute shows you the value of food as it relates to human existence on this planet. So through culinary artistry, through food science, through body ecology, you know, how to not damage your body, how to preserve your life, your energy, not to waste your vitality trying to whip your body with another cup of hot something because you live in Detroit and it's icy out there, and you think by whipping your body that you as mighty and as powerful as a jockey who whips the horse, and the horse tries to run away from the sting of the whip, and the horse runs faster. So when you whip your body with another hot something, your body now is going to need another whipping constantly on a regular basis because you didn't allow it to acclimatize. So we teach you these kinds of principles. So yeah, I lived in New York for 25 years not eating any cooked food. And I was warmer and could withstand the cold better than people whipping their body with another hot cup of chocolate, tea, you name it, coffee, soup. Now, you're tapping into your immune system. You're tapping into your enzyme bank, making a withdrawal to cool down another hot cup of something. So you're expending energy. You're expending vital force to warm up a bucket of ice cream because it won't get past your throat if it's too extreme a temperature, from too cold or frozen or too hot, boiling, piping hot. Your system have to cool it down instantly or warm it up instantly. And that requires a great expenditure of vital force, of vitality. And you get a false sensation of being warm or feeling cool because I just ate a bucket of, my favorite ice cream. Yeah, you cool. Yeah, you cool, but you're going to have to keep putting in that comfort to stay cool. And eventually your body's not going to tolerate it anymore, and it breaks down. So at the Sun-Fired Institute, it's not just about these things about food and even, a heavy clinical approach, because we're not into healing. We're not healers. And we don't believe that herbs, foods, or anything can heal the human body. The human body is totally self-healing. Give it a chance. Give life a chance. Stop challenging it. Stop attacking it. Stop bombarding it with a big bucket of mac and cheese or whatever is your favorite killer food. Let it be. Let your immune system take over. The body will heal itself of all disease. And I'm not making any claims. I'm not putting myself, next to a doctor. I may have a doctorate degree, but I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a medical doctor, and I'm not trying to heal nobody. Don't come to me if you come in, for help with some sickness. I don't deal with sick care. As I say, you can go to Dr. Montgomery, and he'll put you in the right place. He'll put you in the raw food boot camp. And there's other doctors around that would do that. But you're coming to me to deal with food. And the Sun-Fired Culinary Institute, besides the food preparation, we have juice retreat, where it's like, you come into a clinic and just drinking juices for a whole week, and watch your body do its marvelous thing that only the body can do on its own, because you stop feeding it stuff that is challenging it and that are distracting your healing vitality, and having you use it to entertain yourself with some smacking good food. Not to say this food is not good and it's not smacking. One of our trademark is taste.
Yeah.
Sun-Fired Cuisine, we step on it. We got the taste. We got the flavor. That's why I'm listed in the Oxford Encyclopedia of Food and Drink in America. They acclaim me as the father of ethical, gourmet, Gourmet, okay? Raw food cuisine. And yeah, I spiced it. I've spiced it with my background coming out of my grandma's kitchen and my mother's kitchen. We are spice authorities, spice masters. So,
And
you
I do
know,
want to applaud you because your food is so beautiful. Like it's so attractive. Like I've seen you make the raw desserts and you design them. Like it's like a work of art, you know? So I mean, yeah, I just want to applaud you for that because,
thank
a
you.
lot of people say that we do eat with our eyes first. And I
Oh,
think you just
yes.
make everything so beautiful.
Well, you are what you eat. So you want to eat beauty. You don't want a sloppy Joe. You don't want to look sloppy. You want edible art. It's like, oh, it's too good to eat. Ah, yes. You want look good food because you want to look good. Unfortunately, a lot of places get us with that. They'll make a pile of nothing look so nice and appetizing and entertaining, and you know, and next thing you know, you get out of there and you're ready for the heart attack. So don't buy food just on how it looks either. So we talking complementing the art and the science together in the same bite. That's what we're talking about. Functional medicine, functional food. Thy food shall be thy medicine, and thy medicine shall be thy food. Eat, drink, and be merry. Because if your food don't bring you merriment, it's going to bring you misery. So enjoy it.
Yeah.
But, certain things, what sweetens you today is going to bitter you tomorrow. So with certain things, don't enjoy the gusto if you know it's going to make you sick. Okay? Because the same cause of, joy and ecstasy on a plate could be the same cause of your next heart attack.
Wow. Yeah. So tell us, please, about your certification course.
The Sunfired Certification course is a 36-hour immersion in the kitchen with me, and we only accept 6 people at a time for each course. So it's very, curated to address everybody's particular interests. And for those 36 hours, we run through at least 36 recipes and we teach you how to create. The whole objective is to unlock your creative culinary energy. And we go through the whole anatomy of to how I'm creating each dish. And in some cases, I'm just like a raw food DJ. It's like, oh, I want a lasagna. Okay, I'll detox your favorite lasagna recipe. I want a jerk pork. Yeah, I'll detox your favorite jerk pork recipe, including the pork. I'll get that out of it. And you still enjoy, So the certification course really unlocks your personal creative culinary energy. So I'm
I
not
love
really
that.
enslaving you to recipes that you got to go back and just regurgitate. Because, we get people from all over the world. And there's certain things that you're not going to find in Philadelphia that you're going to find out here in Panama.
Right.
But I teach you how to go and use what you have available
Hmm.
in your
That's
neighborhood, in
beautiful.
your marketplace, and create something equal or even far better than what I would teach you how to create. Because you're going to be in control. It's going to be what you really want. And we teach you how to source your materials, the equipment that you need to use, and we show you how to really, design and operate in a stoveless kitchen. Because that's the first thing. You got to get rid of the stove, man. You can't be a hypocrite. You can't be like, oh, just in case. Because cooked
Yeah.
food is a drug. I
Yeah,
bet
it
you can't
is.
just eat one. And they tell you in the commercial, you have
Hmm.
one slice of those, you back in the spinning the bottle again. You back in the dope bin. So be careful with certain foods, and we teach you all
Hmm.
of these things. You
Hmm.
know how to, basically regulate your relationship with food, and even during that week, we give you a jump start. you know, we give you a tune-up. So you're going to be eating and living the life for a week and enjoying it, because you see the beautiful beach we have here, and you know, and it's peaceful. So only
Mhm.
1,500 people live here, and only 1,200 can come on each day. So there's a limitation as
Oh,
to, we don't have no heavy carbon footprint here.
yeah.
Yeah, we're environmentally correct here. That's why I chose to be here on this island. And it's one of the Pearl Islands. If you know anything about the history of the Pearl Islands in Panama, these islands, this network of islands in this area off the Pacific coast of Panama, were the place where the most precious pearls in the world have ever been found. And people like my grandparents, my great-grandparents, great-great-grandparents, they're the ones that came to these islands. And these were the pearl divers. So there's a lot of remnants of African vibration still here in these environments. So they're very precious islands. Of course, we know that that's one species of nature that human beings have totally raped and destroyed. There are no more pearls. Everything else is cultured pearls. You know, it's
Mhm.
man-made. So
Yeah.
all the precious ones have gone already.
Mhm.
So, and that's what we need to look at in life. You know, you are a precious pearl. You are a precious gem. You are a precious jewel. You only have one life to live it. And let's defend and protect this. This is our turn. This is our opportunity, and Sunfire guides you through the way as to how you can take full ownership, full responsibility of the life that you were born to love, and make sure that you protect it, you defend it, you cherish it, and you don't make it get sick. Okay? You're the keeper. It's
Yeah.
your responsibility to self, to enjoy your life and not go out being a burden to your loved ones. You know, not go out sitting in a nursing home isolated from your kinfolks. You know, you need to just decide when you want to go peacefully, enjoying, you know, our ancestors based on when you know it's your time to check out, not to go, you know, the other ways that we've been doing it in these days. So it's all about love, it's all about life, it's all about peace, and it's all about self-respect.
That's big. That's big. And so, what would you say, Dr. Aris, are some of the main challenges that you help your students overcome? You mentioned like, sourcing local ingredients so that they can like reproduce their favorite local dishes, etc. Is there, and I think what you're getting at too is like mindset, like, mind over matter, I guess you could say.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what else are you thinking that some of your students are challenged with that you help them to overcome?
It's just to help them remove the wax out of their brain. Because a lot of this food that we're eating, they turn into wax, they crystallize. And it short circuit our whole brain force. So we can't think a lot of things. So once you get that out, a lot of stuff don't come to you easy. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, this is common sense. Damn, what am I? What you know? It's like, so the main key is to unclog and live. So my phone is running out of charge.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
running out of charge. So I don't want to
Okay.
take an
Okay.
abrupt exit. Just want to let you
Okay.
know.
All
Uh,
right. So, Dr. Aris, what is the best way for people to contact you for information, questions, comments, collaboration?
it's best to just message me at sunfired@sunfired.com. That's my email address. You can find me at sunfired.com, the website, as well, or you can find me by my name, ArisLatham, and I'm always available, and if I'm not, one of my assistants would pick up and make sure that we come together at some point, because I love speaking with people, and it's important, to connect directly with you when you are ready.
Awesome.
Okay, so when the student is
Awesome.
ready, the teacher will show up.
I love that. Thank you so much, Dr. Aris, for taking the time. I'm gonna save this to IGTV, my stories, and and then I will message you after.
Okay, thank you so much. It's
Thank
been a joy.
you.
Okay, you're
Yes, for me
welcome.
too. Take care. Thank you so
All right.
much, and thanks everybody for joining. Take good care, everybody. Thanks, Dr. Aris. Bye bye.
You're welcome. Bye now.